Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to the weekly vlog. I have a pretty busy week ahead of me actually. I have 3 friend hangouts this week. Look at me go. Normally I have 0 friend hangouts in a week because I am an introvert and like to stay inside, but I need to leave the house more often because the good old winter blues are really getting to me these days. So I definitely need some joy and my friends are happy to provide that. So tonight I'm going for a little cheesecake friend date with a friend that I haven't seen for a while, so it'll be very nice to catch up. Friday, another friend and I are going to be doing a like chill hangout. My roommate recently got me this like coloring book of swear words, which I love so much. So I've been having a good time doing that. I'm almost done my first one. Shit pouch. Love that. And it's like all abstract things, which is what I like to do because I am not a skilled artist, but what I do really enjoy is just having fun and putting colors in random places and just enjoying the process of coloring without having to worry about it looking good, you know what I mean? So my friend and I are just going to chill and color and probably watch a movie. And then Saturday, I'm heading down to Toronto to hang out with a friend that I haven't seen in such a long time. I'm so excited to see them. I don't think we've been able to hang out since I think September was the last time we saw each other at the Hosier concert. We don't really have a set plan for the day. We're just gonna hang out and catch up and just have a lovely time. Also, I've just realized I can turn this a little bit to get the Christmas tree in the frame because it's not going to be here for much longer. So I know it's like mid-January and I still have the Christmas tree up. In my defense, it is my roommate's tree. She's the one that's got the box for it and she just hasn't had the time to put it away yet. So for the time being, I get to enjoy a little bit longer of Christmas. Anyways, I do have some reading updates right now. I am in the middle of 2 things. Game Changers by Reid, which is the first book in the Heated Rivalry series. Yes, I'm obsessed with the TV show. If you have not seen that, what are you doing? Go watch it. It's wonderful. And so far, the book is just as good. I'm only 13% of the way through, but I've already been like giggling and squealing and kicking my feet. And I am loving this one. The first book follows Kip and Scott, who are the main characters in the 3rd episode of the season, and I love their stories so much, so I can't wait to see where things go with this, and I'm excited to find out how closely the show follows the book. So far, it seems to be following it very closely. I've noticed plenty of direct quotes and a whole bunch of things seem to be very, very similar. Seems like they did a very good job at staying true to the book, but yeah, I can't wait to see where that one goes. And then like an hour ago, I started listening to the audiobook Love at First Fright by Nadia El-Fassi, who's the author of, can't think of the title, but I read it last year and absolutely adored it. And I've been very much looking forward to their newest release. And since I'm pretty much done with my January TBR already, I now have space to mood read for the rest of the month. And this was the first one that I found that I was in the mood for and also had immediate access to. Thank you, Libby. So I've started this one and I'm already obsessed. I think I'm about maybe like 20% of the way through already. It's a paranormal contemporary romance about a woman who can see ghosts. She's also a horror author and her book is being turned into a movie for the first time, but she unfortunately does not like the casting choice for the main role. I'm at the point where they have just met in person for the first time and I'm already obsessed. Definitely having a good time with this one. It's also incredibly queer. There have been plenty of non-binary characters and trans characters and people of different sexualities, so I'm really loving that part of it as well, and I can't wait to see where the plot goes with this one too. But yeah, those are the reading updates for right now. I am just making some lunch right now and like meal prepping for the rest of the week as well. I'm making an eggplant and potato curry to have for the next few days at work, and that's just about ready. And after I have, is ready now. And once I finish lunch, I'm going to go and film hopefully the last of my New Year's content. I need to film my best books of 2025 as well as my worst books and all the books that I DNF'd last year as well. So fingers crossed I can do all 3. I don't know if I have the energy for that or if my camera's battery is charged enough, but we'll find out. And I'd also like to do some editing today because I really want to post 3 videos for the next 2 weeks because I have so much New Year's content to put out. I still have to edit and put out my December wrap up as well. So 3 videos a week sounds like a good time, at least for a couple weeks, but I gotta go and get those things done and we'll chat later on. hair is such a mess. I've been lying down reading for a while, so I'm a bit of a disaster. Got some bedhead going on. But hello, it's Wednesday, and I have a bunch of reading updates actually. I've been reading a lot in the last few days, so where do I start? Okay, I'll start with the one that I finished. So I finished reading Love at First Fright by Nadia El-Fassi today. I loved this book so much. It was so good. I'm giving it a solid 4-star. It was cute and heartwarming. It was spicy, and it was like kinky kind of spicy, so you know I'm a fan of that. And bonus points for it being a well done kink. It was actually a healthy, positive portrayal of a BDSM dynamic, so I really appreciated that about it. I loved the side plot with the ghosts. It was so sweet and also made me tear up a little bit. I didn't love the third act breakup, but I almost never do, so that wasn't a surprise. But I especially dislike it when the third act breakup could have been avoided had the characters just communicated. So that was kind of annoying, but that's just a personal preference. But yeah, I loved this book, and this author will definitely be an auto read author for me. I'm gonna check and see if they have anything else out, and if they do, I will be swiftly adding those to my TBR. And then I am still reading Game Changer by Reid. I am 39% of the way through. I'm on chapter 13 right now, and I'm loving it. Oh, I'm loving it so much. Completely obsessed. This one is taking me a bit longer to read than usual because I am just using my eyeballs. I'm not doing the audiobook for this one. It's one of my goals for this year to try and improve my focus by trying to read at least a certain amount of books without the audiobook, because while I love audiobooks, they're such a fantastic tool. They're so helpful for me. At the same time, I also don't want to have to rely on audiobooks. I would love to be able to read again without the audiobook. So I'm making myself just be okay with taking my time and just being a slow reader, and hopefully that'll help. I also had this goal last year, and while I didn't fully fail it, I did not do as well as I thought I would. Or as well as I hoped that I would, rather. So we're trying again this year, and I'm starting with this book as my first one. But yeah, it's wonderful. I love these characters so much. This has had me like giggling and kicking my feet and having a great time. So I can't wait to continue with that one over the next couple of days. And then I have also started another book. So I'm now reading The Shadow of the Gods by Gwynne, and I am 19% of the way through, or chapter 10. This one is part of the catch-up book club that's hosted by Becca and the Book. This is my first time joining the book club, but I really wanted to get into some more epic fantasy because I am very intimidated by these large, dense books. But the few times that I have actually read them, I've loved them, so I do want to read them more often. I just need a bit of a push to get into them, but I'm already loving this book. This is so good. Just from chapter 1, I was hooked. This one has to do with dragon gods that are thought to be dead, but I have a feeling that they're not going to be dead. And it follows a huge cast of characters. I think there are 3 or 4 POVs, and it's kind of people from all over this world. I have no idea if all these characters are going to interact at some point or another, but I kind of hope that at least some of them do. That'd be really interesting to see. But yeah, I have no idea what this plot is going to go, but I'm very much looking forward to finding out. And then finally, for right now, I also have a DNF. I very briefly started Lightlark by Aster, and very quickly DNF'd it. I started it on my break yesterday at work because it's for the in-person book club that I'm part of, and I was not enjoying this one, unfortunately. Couldn't really pinpoint what it was about it that I really didn't like, but just something about it was not for me, and I could tell that I wouldn't enjoy myself going forward, so I called it quits pretty early on. I only got, I think, less than 5% of the way through, so roughly 20 pages, give or take. Oh, actually, one last thing. I might have another DNF on my hands today. I started the audiobook for All of Us Murderers by KJ Charles after finishing my other one today, which is a murder mystery that is giving like Regency era Knives Out. And I love that movie, but I really don't like mystery novels. But I wanted to try this one. It's queer as well, so of course I was wanting to try it out at least. But I don't know if this author is for me. I DNF'd a couple of their books previously, and this one seems to be like it'll be the same from what I can tell. I haven't gotten far into it. I think I'm only about 10% in, give or take. But yeah, I'm just not really enjoying it and don't really feel any drive to continue it. And life is too short to read books that I'm only kind of interested in. I'll give it a bit more of a try, but I have a feeling that it's probably going to be a DNF. But those are all of the rapid fire updates for right now. Plenty of reading has been done in the last couple of days, and I'm having a blast. I've also, side note, been sleeping so well. I think I mentioned in last week's vlog that I switched from coffee to tea and it's making such a huge difference. I am miserable without coffee, but I'm surviving. And the tea is doing enough to keep me awake, but I'm able to fall asleep at like 11:30. I went to bed at 11:15 yesterday. What? That never happens. And then I woke up at 7:30 feeling fully awake and refreshed. Today was my day off and I could have slept in, but I just naturally woke up at 7:30 and got up and was awake. It was lovely. I did get back into bed, but it was like with the intention of getting cozy and reading. I had the curtains open, a candle going, and I just laid in bed and read for like an hour and it was lovely. But yeah, the tea is definitely doing its job and I'm much more rested. Which like I wasn't drinking a lot of coffee. I was still only having 1 cup a day. Sometimes, occasionally I would have 2 cups, but normally just 1 cup in the morning and that was it, which is what I'm doing with the tea, but it's such a huge difference in how I'm feeling. Anyways, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go do some more reading, get all cozied up in bed, and I think I'm going to I want to read one more chapter of The Shadow of the Gods, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my evening reading Game Changer, and I might put on a movie in a little bit. No idea what yet, but I'll figure that out later on. And happy Monday, actually. Also, Tony is chilling back there as well, so hello from Tony. Yeah, the last half of the week was very busy, so I didn't have a chance to update at all until right now, so my bad. But I had a lovely week. It was so nice to hang out with so many different friends. On Friday, I went to my one friend's house to color, and we watched Atlantis, The Lost Empire, which was so good. It was my first time ever seeing that movie, and I loved it. And then on Saturday, I went down to Toronto to visit a different friend of mine. I also got a couple rolls of film developed. I got a film camera a few months ago. I hadn't even filled up my first roll yet, so I had no idea if it even worked yet or not. So I finished the last couple shots of the color roll, and then I also brought along a roll of black and white film that I actually managed to fill up completely just while I was downtown Toronto. So I was able to drop off both of them. So I'll put up a few of my favorites on the screen here so you can take a look at them. Nothing fancy, they're just shots that I thought were pretty, mainly of like nature and buildings and architecture and that kind of thing. So These are really just my test shots to find out if the camera even worked. So, but I'm very happy that it did, and I also am very happy with the quality of it. This film is Fuji 400. I think the colors are really pretty. I like the quality of it, so I'll definitely be using that one again. But yeah, it was really fun to just like walk around Toronto and shoot on film and have a good time. I got stopped by so many people who saw me taking photos with a film camera, and they stopped to, you know, chat with me a little bit, and I got to talk about photos all day with a bunch of cool people, so that was really nice. And I got some good reading in as well on the train, which I'll get into shortly. But overall, it was a wonderful day. I had a great time and just a great week overall. And then Sunday I just worked and then came home and I needed to veg. I read a little bit last night, but mainly just watched TV and had a nice time. I started rewatching Heated Rivalry because I can't stop myself. I can't stop thinking about it, so I'm watching it again. And then I also watched the newest episode of Drag Race and season 1 episode 2 of House of the Dragon as well. That was my entire evening last night. It was great. Anyways, the reading updates. So I think the last time we spoke, I was talking about possibly DNFing All of Us Murderers, which I did DNF that one. And then what else did I have to talk about? I have so many updates. I've made some really good progress on The Shadow of the Gods. I'm currently 64% of the way through and I am loving this book so much. I'm hoping to finish it up maybe by tomorrow or Wednesday, one of the two, fingers crossed. We'll see how that goes. I don't really know how to like articulate what I'm liking about it so much, but it's just kind of the whole thing, all of it, I guess. I don't know. I like the world a lot. The characters are really interesting. I'm very intrigued by the plot, and the magic sounds really cool as well, and I can't wait to get more into it. So I think I'm going to continue to love this one as the series goes on. And then, I finished Game Changer by Rachel Reid, the first book in the Heated Rivalry series, and I loved it so much. Oh my god, I gave it a 4.5 star. Realistically, if I did not love the show so much, it probably would be more like a 4 or even a 3.5, because objectively some of the dialogue is kind of awkward sometimes, but I love it so much, so I don't mind. It is a very biased rating, and I am not sorry about it. I loved this book so much. It had me crying. I think I did like a little time lapse of me reading a certain part of the book. If you've seen the show, then the sunshine portion of episode 5 is the part of the book that I was reading in that clip where I was reading it. This book filled me with so much joy, and I loved it dearly, and I can't wait to read the next books in the series. I'm not going to derail my entire TBR to binge this whole series, but I am very tempted to, I'm not gonna lie. And then on the train home from Toronto, my phone was dying, so I couldn't have an audiobook going. So I kind of picked a random one off of my Kindle that's been sitting there for quite a while. And I ended up starting and reading about half of We Can Never Leave This Place by Larocca, and then finished it on Sunday. I'm really conflicted by this book. I don't know how I felt about it. On the one hand, it was very compelling. It was disgusting. It was giving me like visceral reactions where I was like cringing and could barely even look at the page. So it was very well written, but at the same time, I also have no idea what happened, and I think that might be the point. I think this is supposed to be a confusing book, but I just personally don't love when books are like intentionally confusing. I like being confused throughout the bulk of the story, but I want things to make sense by the end, and the ending actually made things even more confusing, so I didn't personally love how that ended, but it was a very compelling book, and it was gross. I think this was my first time reading splatterpunk, and I didn't really realize that it was splatterpunk going into it, and had I known that, I may not have read it. But it was a thing that I read. Whether or not it was a good thing or not, I have yet to decide, but I'm settling on a 3-star rating for now, at least. I might reevaluate that later on, but at least for right now, it is a solid 3-star. And then I think my last update that I have is I've started and now also finished Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. That's been my audiobook for the last few days, and I loved this book. It was so good. This is a YA mermaid fantasy where the main character was turned into a mermaid after she died by the Orisha gods, and her job is to find the souls of enslaved people who have been thrown overboard and guide their souls home, basically. But one day she breaks that and ends up saving a life instead, which sets off this entire plot. I had a great time with this book. This was excellent. I loved the setting the most, and the magic was really interesting as well. There was a romance in here that I really didn't think was necessary, and it kind of took away from the story a little bit for me. But other than that, this was so good, and I'm so happy that I finally picked it up. Kind of on a whim, to be honest. I was just looking at some of the books that have been on my TBR for a long time and picked it up randomly, and I'm very glad that I did, and I gave it a 4-star. I think those are all the updates that I have. I might be wrong on that. Hang on, I wrote a note. I'm gonna go check it. Okay, yeah, those were in fact all of the updates that I had, which means it's time to wrap up the vlog. So in the comments, let me know what you read this week. I would love to hear it. I had a great week. I hope you also did. Thanks so much for coming along. As always, I appreciate ya, and I will see you in the next video.